Hello, my crafty friend, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's short but hopefully sweet little junk journal video. So as you may be aware, I have been working very steadily on some special custom order journals and gift journals and even my own personal New Year's journal as a result of working on many journals simultaneously. I've done a lot over the last couple of weeks, but I don't really have any finished journals to flip through and share with you yet. So what I decided to do today, instead of try to sort of rush through the process of making and then share with you like a half complete journal, I decided to just show you the progress that I'm at with the next journal that I'll have for my Etsy shop and kind of walk you through the theme, the materials I've pulled aside for it, and show you kind of a behind the scenes on my paper selection. So what kind of vintage books I pull paper from, what kind of vintage rolls I get the wallpaper scraps from, the inspiration behind the tassels, etc. So anyway, my next journal, I wanted it to be just an over-the-top explosion of vibrant colors. I am not really into the neutrals. I like the brights, I like the bolds. And so I've gone with kind of an amethyst purple, a sea turquoise, some silver and gold, because why not mix our metals? And then inside it, I lined it with like a fuchsia, gorgeous pink sari fabric with gold details. So yeah, this is what my empty cover looks like. The turquoise part of the sari is a very deep pocket on both the front and the back. So I may load it with something like this extra large bookmark so that it kind of has something looking like that sticking out. And then put a tie closure somewhere around the middle like this-ish with those giant faux gemstones in the center and a piece of an upcycled Temple Lakshmi. But anyway, I'm still kind of working around with my idea for the closure, and I'm still deciding whether I want this beautiful piece with some upside down succulents on the back. Do I want this to be in the cover, or do I want it inside the book like a really extra over the top bookmark that has these little fun red pom-poms that stick out the side? By the way, thank you, Kimberly, for this red pom-pom trim. It was in some happy mail she sent me, and I've used it in the swap journal I'm making for my friend May, and I've also used it in a journal I'm making for myself, and then this one too. I think it's just so fun. So anyway, the pages for this book, I'm just going to set these pieces aside for now. Oh yeah, the cover. It's also going to have these boho beads that I made. And I am planning to do a video, maybe this week, maybe next week, about how I make boho beads. I'm working on a batch for my friend Kat, so I might as well film the process so you can see how easy and fun they are. But yeah, I just love those for using old jewelry pieces. So anyway, I wanted the theme for this one to be very open, just basically eclectic, themeless theme, but just really cool and really beautiful and sometimes whimsical stuff. So I might put some printables in it, but for now, what I know I'm definitely putting in it are all the papers you see here. And they are all what we would call original papers. So meaning this came from an architect's manual from France from 1912. So this is like 112 years old now, I think. Really cool. This is from the 1960s. This is from the 1960s. This is from a book about Versailles from like the 1980s probably. Really cool. This is a print from my antique lithograph collection that got really roughed up by a kitty, and that kind of gives it some fun crumbly texture. This is from my Sears wallpaper printable kit. This is out of lapidary or lapidary. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that word. I've heard both ways. But a lapidary magazine from the 1960s. And so even though it looks like just a boring list of references, when you look up close, they are all gemstone related. So we see geophysical, mining, minerals, crystals, rock shop, lapidary supply, faceting, gems and hobbies. Like, it's just kind of fun to see that every listing that you look at, there's something gemstone and crystal themed. I found this beautiful illustrated page in a book of fairy tales, and you can just imagine how this is going to look in the journal when you open it up and see that beautiful little tin soldier floating down a stream in his little boat made of origami paper. In fact, I'll probably fold a little origami boat to pin to that page. But yeah, so basically the way I do it to find the pages that go into a book like this, I've tried to amass a collection with a lot of variety of papers, a lot of different fonts, a lot of different languages, a lot of different styles. This one I just thought was cool because it's a female artist doing a self-portrait of herself painting. This one's gorgeous just because of its opulence. A room in Versailles. Oh, this was actually meant, I think, to go in May's journal. I thought it was cute seeing the little cat and the little dog cuddling up together, so pretend you didn't see that page. But yeah, vintage typewriting instructions, a vintage French playbook, a really, really pretty khadi paper, a handmade paper from India that was a gift from Kimberly. And again, it's just, look at how good that looks next to this purple pattern. Just so perfect. Sometimes the best way to match your patterns is to clash your patterns, right? The dark blue, the light blue, the purple, the green. They don't sound like they would go together, but they really do. So this vintage seashell book that might be among my favorite book finds to use in junk journals. I'll tuck a couple pages from that into it. And anyway, I used some of Kat Stone's little prints to mark the pages in this book that I thought could be fun to use. This one, the little girl receiving an invitation, but I just love that Norman Rockwell-esque feeling that you get when you look at these vintage book illustrations. How cute, the little girl dressed like a little girl, the little green lawn, the mailbox, and how excited she looks to get her own letter. And I'm going to use this gorgeous little fairy print, a little fairy boy on a moth. That's one that Kat Stone shared with me, and I just love it. So that's going to go in my own journal, but I used it to save this page. And also this page, this one, that might also be going in a custom book I'm working on, but I just wanted to share with you. See how boring and plain this book looks? I found it at a thrift store. It's called What Next B. I wouldn't have thought it would be anything cool, but sometimes you have to pull them off the shelf and look inside because they can have really magical little unexpected illustrations. And then the last one I wanted to share with you, this little book here that just had also really cool little illustrations. So very vintage looking. There's a page of stamps from Canada. In fact, I might have to rip that out and put it in May's book too. Yeah, so a fun little kid's story about stamp collecting. Would that be perfect with a collection of stamps or what? And this one called The Collection. Very, very cute. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted you to see because I'm asked sometimes, where do I find the vintage books for paper? And it's really just thrifting. I found these rolls of really 80s looking wallpaper trims thrifting too. And they might not look like something we'd want to put on our walls these days, but they really, really do look super awesome inside a junk journal. And instead of cutting them, I always like to just kind of fold them and tear them to give kind of a rough edge. But anyway, yeah, that's all gonna look super cute, layered up in this book. The next time you see that book and the next time you hear from me, the book will be completed and it will be time to do the full flip through and to share the Etsy listing link. Unless, of course, somebody wants to claim it as a custom order beforehand, in which case just send me a message on Etsy or comment below here, and that way we can keep track so I'm not flooded with requests if there are multiples. Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, either way, I will share the full flip through next week when all these papers are put in place. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little show and tell so you can see where I am in my creative process on this one and kind of how it is that I come to decide which papers go in the books. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know, are you working on any special journal crafts at the moment? And if so, what are you making? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching. So much love to you, and we'll catch up again next week. Bye for now.